Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come in, come in, come in. So, guys, this is Powerbook all right, that we are talking about. This is Tamika's Den. I am Tamika. Season 1, Episode 9. And they pissed me off. This episode pissed me off, y'all. It pissed me off because at the end of the day, Tommy has saved everybody's ass, okay? Everybody. He's come through. He's never bullcrap nobody. He's always been up front. He's always been real. He always laid his cards on the table, showed who he was, and went to bat for everybody. And everybody is always constantly turning on him when he has not given them any reason to turn on them. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the same old song and the same old damn dance when it comes to that part. I'm completely over it, okay? But anyway, let's go ahead and get into this. So, of course, we started out this episode with Vic being all sad and in the hospital and getting flashbacks. Applaud glow, okay? Getting her head blown on, well, her face, whatever, shot up, right? And you got Daddy Flynn coming up to him, and he's like, oh, I know you're happy now. Glow is dead. And, of course, Flynn is telling him, I'm not happy that she's dead. Bull crap, okay? But I am happy that you are alive, okay? I would be lying if I say that I'm not happy that you're alive. And right off the back, we got Flynn basically blaming, Tommy. Vic tells him it's the Serbs, and he's like, yeah, we know that the Serbs was going to be coming back because, of course, Walter went and shot up their men and sent them a message after the first shootout. But the difference in that time and this time is that Walter actually seemed like he was upset, like he was surprised at the fact that, his son's life was in jeopardy. Of course, he didn't care nothing about daggone Glow behind, but he cared that they messed with his son, right? Whereas this time, it seemed like Daddy Flynn was just, of course, waiting for this to happen, feeling like, oh, well, they took out Glow for him. Good. That's not a problem he got to worry about because he wanted that done anyway. I don't know. That was the vibe it was giving me. First, I went from thinking Flynn was behind this. So, of course, all right, we see that that's the Serbs. They coming after Vic. It also is kind of weird to me that even though Flynn did go after them, so I guess it would make sense. But it's like Tommy, Diamond, and Vic all came after them, but all of these times they only come after Vic. They don't never be coming after Tommy. They don't never be coming after Diamond. That was just the end of it. They just made the deal with Diamond and them, and it was just fine. And after they came to Tommy house that time with Liliana, after that they was just fine. Like, I don't know if we missed some parts and something that wasn't added in the story, but that doesn't make sense to me that Vic is the only one that they coming for so hard. So nonetheless, then I was feeling like Paulie was playing both sides and trying to be a mastermind behind scenes, because I didn't like how last episode Paulie kind of only told Vic half the story. But in this episode, guys, I don't know, because I was kind of feeling like Waltz has been the puppet master behind the scenes. So y'all put it in the comments. Do you think it's Walter that's behind the scenes, or do you think it's Paulie that's behind the scenes? Because somebody else is definitely behind the scenes playing puppet master right now, okay? And I'm not feeling it. But we do see, as I was saying, that Walter is going super, super hard to make Vic feel that Tommy has something to do with this. And at first, Vic was acting like he was using half his damn brain, where he basically was like, oh, well, no, why would Tommy be wanting to come? He's the one that warned me, and he's the one that was trying to get me out of here, gave me keys to a car, and he actually told me that you was basically trying to put a hit out, and that me and Gloria need to go away from here. He's like, no, he's not the one, and then here come Walter. Why would Markovich let him walk? He's the one that set you up. He's the one that wanted this to happen to you, and he just was so hard up on making it seem like it was Tommy. But just last week, Walter, if that's the case, then aren't you dumb too? Because you were sitting here, offering him a position within your damn family. So which one is it, Walter? Because the math ain't freaking mathing, all right? But of course, you know, you got Vic that's all in mourning over Gloria. So he's, you know, it guess it ate up his brain cells. So now he gonna think that Tommy was basically the one in on it. And again, I'm not surprised. I figured that's the way it was gonna go. But it's just like, come on, it's not it's not adding up. So now he's talking about some you choosing, over him. She's fucking dead, die. She's gone. And that's all and then, Vic is telling him, I know, boy. And so he's like, and you and me are gonna, and your sister. Now all of a sudden Claudia is included into it too. Will not rest until Tommy pays that they hurt her. Tommy was trying to save her, okay, you dummy. This just pisses me off. We're gonna get every fucking one of them. Whatever. But and the first grave is gonna be for Tommy. The fact that Walter kept going in on Tommy and trying to put it on him, you blew up your spot right off the back with that, Walter, okay? So anyway, next we have D-Mac, where we see that apparently he has a job counting the money, all right? Tommy got him all set up in some space where, he's counting up the funds. And we see that Tommy is also texting Gloria, and he comes in there checking in on him, saying, what's up, Skinny? How's everything going? He's like, I got another load for you. How we doing? How we making out so far? And I'm glad that he has D-Mac out, with him, locked away, counting money, which we seen he was good with numbers. So perfect thing for him. And he's not out on the street. So I'm like, okay, cool. D-Mac is also telling him, I don't know where the hell y'all get this money and what these people be doing with it, but this damn money smelling funky, all right? And Tommy telling him it just smell like he making that paper, so he's okay with it, And he at first was asking him how was the count that he did yesterday, and he was like, well, it's up 18% from yesterday. And he was like, is it really up 18%, or are you just trying to say that? And he was like, well, 18.245 to be precise. And so Tommy's like, yeah, flex, that's mine. That's what I'm talking about. You the smartest kid that I ever seen. And so, like I said, I like that Tommy has his nephew with him, and that, he's kind of somewhat keeping him safe, and he's telling him all about, that he knew somebody that always was in the books like that and smart like him, and they did the same shit that he do, but he ended up dying. And he's like, that's part of the game. It doesn't matter, what you doing, that's how you end up. And so he's like, I feel you. And then he was like, you're still young. You don't have to have this life. You could still go ahead to do, basically whatever you want to do. You still got time to do something else that doesn't end with a bullet. And so I appreciated, Tommy saying that to him as well. And of course, D-Mac was just looking at him when he said that. You have, JP dad come and check on him. He's sitting there wrapping up some stuff or whatever. And he tells the dad that, he did reach out to Kate. He's asking him if he's all right. He said, yeah. And he basically is saying, he wasn't really expecting to be feeling like this. He didn't know her all that well. But he just basically feels like, her dying was just something else that's another piece of him that he don't have, and he lets him know that he did reach out to Kate, and he was like, oh really, what did she have to say? And he was like, well, nothing really. He was like, I just called, told her who I was, and told her that Miriam died. And he was like, that's it. And he was like, yeah. And he said that it wasn't the magic bullet that he thought it was gonna be, and of course his father is telling him, Kate is Kate, and I don't know really what you was expecting for her to say or what you was expecting for it to be. And he was like, yeah, I don't know either. But he says that he's going to focus on doing whatever he could do to find Darnell and making sure that he's in his life, okay, which of course is D-Mac. And I'm like, yes, please, JP, direct your damn, energy to that. That would be nice, right? And so, of course, he's just going through the motions, over that. And he's saying that he thought it would be one thing, but she's not looking for no son, right? So that was pretty much that with that. And like I said, he's gonna go ahead and put his attention to doing now. So I'm like, cool, JP, do that. You know, we get Liliana. She's basically about to do this drop. She's checking on Tommy. She's asking him what's wrong. She could pick up that it's something, you know, not too good with him. And she's like, listen, I'm very intuitive. So, you know, don't play no games. You know, you could talk to me and let me know if there's anything that's going on. She was basically, you know, telling him that he looked like shit. And he was like, yeah, it don't matter. I'm good. And so she just like, And so... you know, he still kept telling her that he was good or whatever the case may be. And he was like, okay, we're on the clock. Danny Wanga's waiting. Go ahead and take care of your business. And so she was like, telling him that, you know, he tells her he can't believe that they dropping stuff in Walter's backyard. And they was like, it's sweet though. And, you know, she was telling him that she got him. And he was basically, she was basically like, you want a hug or something? And he was like, could you stop that? And so she was like, and what's up with Claudia? He was like, she should be making her drop right now. And so as he says that, we see Claudia sitting outside the club and some chick is walking over to her and she tells the chick, you know, that she likes watching her move. And the chick tells her, I like being watched, you know, and Claudia busy trying to kiss up on her and stuff like that after she give her what she got to give her. And so, of course, her father calls her at that point and tells her, like, you know, Vic has been shot. And so now she's like, at first she was telling her father, like, oh, I'm busy, die, you know, whatever it is. And then he's like, no, you need to get here. Your brother been shot. So she telling the chick, like, you got to go. Get the hell up out of here. She's like, get the hell up out of here now, you know, and she goes speeding off and go to the house. So then when she gets there, you know, of course, he's telling her about Glow and the fact that she didn't make it. And she's even looking at him sideways at first, okay? Like, she feels he has something to do with it. That's what it was giving me. And she's saying to her father, like, Dad, you know, he really loved, you know, Glow. And so she already knows that her brother's going to be really hurt with that. And he starts telling her this whole Tommy thing, too. And she's not buying it either at first, okay? Basically, he's trying to be like, oh, yeah, you know, he did this on purpose and all of this kind of stuff. And she was like, well, he cared about Glow, too, and was messing with her. So he's like, oh, yeah, because he wanted her for himself and all this other bull crap. So then she basically, you know, then he's telling her he needs her help. He wants her in on this meeting. There's about to be a wartime and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, well, why would you want me, you know, around all of a sudden? And, of course, he wants to be like, this is a change of scenery and, you know, we got to come together as a family. It's always family first, blah, blah, blah. Nobody seems to be catching on that all of a sudden Walter just seems all fine with all of this and wants to bring everybody together, wants to include Claudia in. They ain't thinking a second thought about it, okay? Because I guess this is their deepest desires of what they always wanted, so they just happy that they getting it. Okay, so then she goes and she's talking to Vic, and Vic is essentially just repeating all the stuff that Walter said to her, or rather said to him, and he's also telling her that he said it was Tommy. And so, you know, Claudia is actually trying to use her head for 2 seconds and tell him, like, no, that does not make sense. And of course, she don't want to blow up her own spot that she's been selling with, you know, Tommy all this time. So she's over here talking about, oh, I don't know Tommy all that well, but that really doesn't make sense. You know, he was sleeping with Gloria too. And she was like, yeah, but he ended it or whatever. And she was like, if he wanted to kill either one of you, he would have been did that and he would have went after it, you know, himself. Whereas Flynn is trying to make sure that Tommy is feeling like, that Vic is feeling like Tommy wouldn't go after his, you know, them himself, when, if anything, both of y'all know Tommy more better than the father does and have interacted with him and seen the way that he works. And you know he will go after you himself. Tommy about to sit back and send nobody else to do his damn dirty work. So it's stupid. It don't make sense, and Vic is stupid. And I could kind of understand him a little bit because, like I said, I know he's grieving and all he thinking about is Gloria. He gonna turn and say to Claudia, oh, well, he probably just basically was like on some, if he couldn't have her, nobody could type thing. And then, you know, that's why he still went after them anyway. And then he gonna tell her, like, whose side are you on? Mine's or his? And of course, Claudia gonna be feeling bad for him, and that's her brother. So he gonna talk about some you know, of course, she's behind his side. And at this point, of course, Walter don't want to give them a damn minute for them to think to themselves and, you know, talk to themselves about this and actually find out the real deal. So here he come walking in not too long after that, being like, you know, because she was saying how Tommy is smart. He's strategic. I'm sorry, y'all. And he gonna be like, whose side are you on? And then that's when Walter come walking his raggedy behind out there. And oh, what are y'all talking about? What do you think they talking about? Obviously, they gonna be talking about the situation that's going on. And he starts again to tell them that Tommy is behind it. He's just going so hard on this Tommy scenario. And nobody is having no light bulbs click on in their damn head. That why would he all of a sudden be going so hard to say that? And if that's the case, then why you ain't just going at him yourself, Daddy Flynn? You supposed to be so damn big and bad. And basically tells them, you know, that they are at war. So Miss Claudia, who we find out, well, that ain't really nothing new, to be honest. I think the whole series we have known that Liliana, I should say, is basically, you know, one holds it down, two got Tommy back. That's about the only one he really seemed like he could trust. And she also keeps her ear to the street, baby, okay? Liliana be knowing everything that's going on. And we will continuously through this episode see her coming and giving, you know, Tommy updates. So she keeps coming back and telling him stuff. And one of the first things she tells him is about Vic. Of course, he's like, you know, is he okay? She was like, well, the streets ain't really saying nothing, but I know a nurse at the hospital, and she was saying that, you know, he was okay, because at first they were saying they didn't know what his status was. You know, that's a red flag for Tommy. He's like, well, why wouldn't they want nobody knowing, you know, what his status was? Then, of course, they're saying, you know, that is the Serbs. They going real hard on that one. You know, she also ends up telling him that she didn't know about Glow. No girl was mentioned, because now he's worried and trying to figure out what's going on with Glow. So we see him actually go and look, you know, at her bar. We see that he's trying to call her, since there's not no word about her, and he's not getting no answers and stuff like that so far. We also see him trying to hit Claudia up, and her behind basically ignoring him, you know. So, of course, you know, he even tells Liliana at one point, like, I tried to help them. And she's like, oh, yeah. She was like, well, wait a minute. What's with you and this girl? Like, you know, Claudia, Liliana, I should say, is quick. She be catching on fast. So she already sees that obviously he cares something for, you know, Glow, or whatever the case may be. And she was like, oh, what was up with that? And he was like, you know, I was messing with her at one point, or whatever the case may be, but I let that go. But, you know, at the end of the day, he still want to make sure if she's okay or not, because he didn't feel that she deserved to be mixed up in this. Because, you know, Liliana was laughing like, oh, so you was messing with Vic's girl or whatever. But like I said, he lets her know that he was trying to save them. You know, we have Flynn in the kitchen with this big spread out, you know, all different kind of breakfast and teas and coffee and orange juice, whatever have you. And Claudia is telling him that she's about to step out, and he's like, wait a minute. And basically he starts telling her about how he put in this war room together, and he wants her to be a part of it. And like I said, she's talking about, really, she's like, you never wanted any, you know, me to be a part of anything. You've excluded me all my life. What's changed now? And it's like, exactly. And he gonna talk about some, after losing my son twice, you know, I just made me realize that how much both of you mean to me, and how I need you by my side, and how we gotta be a family. You know, he keeps just trying to sing this damn song and dance that I'm not buying, that comes off very phony to me and is not making no sense. And he's like, but he promises that he's, if she would let him, that you know, he's gonna make everything right. And so of course now, you know, he's like, I need you, bunny. So of course now that he beating her in the head, she's falling for it. She's like, that's all I ever wanted, duh. And so, you know, now she gonna be in his behind and do what he wants her to do. And of course, in the long run, you know, Claudia, that's what she wants. She wants to be in charge. So really, she wouldn't need Tommy no more anyway. And then she could just take over the Dahlia for herself. So like I said, everybody's so quick to be ready to run damn Tommy over. So nonetheless, you know, you have Daddy Flynn go and check on Vic again, and Vic says, you know, he didn't sleep good. He just wants to put everything behind him and move forward as far as them and their relationship. So he's on board with this whole thing. Walter tells him if he didn't try to leave, then Gloria would be alive, and he's like, I know, Gloria would still be alive, which is bullcrap. No, if he would have left and left the way Tommy told him to leave, then damn Gloria would have still been alive. And Claudia basically had told Walter, like, oh, I'm not leaving, I'm gonna be here, nobody's more important than the people that's in this room. So now, of course, she's ignoring all the Tommy calls, and when Walter comes in to give her a hug, and go to Vic, she's sitting there hugging him like and all shocked, like, get the hell out of here. You then have Paulie come and check in, and again, like I said, I don't know which moves where Paulie really lies in here, because on the one hand we see him going hard telling Walter, like, what are you doing, you making all different kind of mistakes, and he was like, for somebody whose son could have been killed, you sure as hell look like you got a pep in your step today. And I'm like, yeah, he sure the hell do. And he's basically still telling him like, oh yeah, I could have lost my son, and this was Tommy. And even Paulie says, this was not no damn Tommy. If this was Tommy, Tommy would have did it himself. Walter tells Paulie, that he's bringing in the 4 horsemen, and that it was Tommy that set this up. And Paulie is like, are you serious? Like, you really going that far? He was like, you going in a little too deep. Okay, you doing too much at this point. And he was like, I hope you know what you're doing. And he was like, we don't have, the type of manpower that we need for this whole situation. And then, he was telling Paulie like, oh, don't worry about my son, I got it, and this and that. And so, like I said, he's telling him like, you sure got, your family reunited, and you got this new pep, and you swinging your step and all of this kind of stuff. So Paulie seemed like he's seeing through his bull crap too. But nonetheless, he say that they are going to annihilate, both the Serbs and Tommy, and that they all set this up. And we're taking out the Tommy and, the Serbs. They're going to be eradicated from this earth. And so, Paulie is just kind of like, wow. And he looking at him like he got 3 damn heads. And it's like, how all of a sudden you so sure about this, and you got all this separate intel that you just pulled out your damn behind, and then he tells Paulie he ain't looking for a lecture, just basically do what he say, and, kind of shut up, like how they say, shut up and play. And that's what he basically was saying to Paulie. So I'm like, yeah, okay, Walter, we see you with your bull crap. You have JP step outside from the room where they making the stuff, and we see him trying to make a call, and it says the number you have reached is disconnected. And basically that was him trying to call Kate again, and done got her name saved in the phone, Kate Egan, and Kate done disconnected that damn thing, and you see like I said, Tommy going and trying to look around to see if he finding out anything or hearing anything from Gloria. You still got him trying to call her. You got him trying to call Claudia. She still ain't answering none of the daggone calls. And so then he goes back and checks in with JP and them, and seeing how everything is going. And they saying, yeah, they straight. And he basically ends up giving JP some of the money that he's supposed to be paying him. Like, this is a start. You could be paying down your thing. He's asking how JP is doing with working there so far. Doc is saying he's doing good. It was a little sketchy where he was mixing up a little bit of stuff wrong in the beginning, but now he's straight. And so he's giving him the money, and he was like, yeah, we on the road to you meeting your goal and, being able to do what you need to do. He was like, we had an agreement set for you to be able to pay down these bills. And so far, you doing real good. But of course, JP is like, well, since it's going good, why mess it up? Why does it have to stop? I could still keep going. And he's like, no, we agreed to a certain amount. He was like, yeah, but I could use a little bit more just to be able to have some breathing room even when I get caught up. And Tommy is like, nah, we ain't doing that, And JP starts telling him like, this is good. You really smart how you set this up and da da da. But finally, Tommy is trying to still call Claudia, still not getting an answer. So now he's getting pissed off like, motherfucker, what's really going on here? And then we get damn D-Mac running into old, Two-Face fake ass that turned on him with Cousin Buddy or whatever, talking, crumbing the cry to him about, Blackston and Jannar turned on me. He's like, oh, like you did the same thing to me. Now you want to come complain to me about how they did it to you. They cut him out from the deal with Cousin It or whatever. And he was like, oh, why am I supposed to care? He's giving him this fake apology. He's telling him he could hit him, that he deserved it. When D-Mac go in to give him, to hit him, he basically jumps and D-Mac starts laughing like, you little sucker, I knew you wasn't going to do nothing. He's like, nah, come here though, for real, you my bro, and I got you. And he tells him, that he have this plan. Come on, come with him. He was like, how I got my mind and how I could think of stuff. He was like, we gonna find a way to get back in there. He's telling him that he love him and all this stuff. So I'm like, oh, Lord, D-Mac, like, why are you messing with this boy? He talking about you want to get back at CBI. I know I am, and I'm just got a bad feeling about it. I'm like, no, D-Mac, this is not good. So he tells him he got a plan. So he was like, come on, come with me or whatever. Check this out. So they go head off walking together. You have Tommy come back and JP basically, he's telling JP he didn't mean to push him. And Tommy is like, I got to tell you something. Basically was about to tell him about D-Mac. But JP is saying he got to tell him something too. And he's telling him to go first. So he was like, I called Kate. So here go Tommy getting pissed off. What did you tell? What did you tell her? And why did you call her? He was like, listen, I just want to tell her about Miriam. I wanted her to find out about me. And he was like, I didn't tell her anything else. Because he's like, did you tell her about me? He's like, no. So he's like, I was just trying to do what's right. He was like, no, you was trying to do what was right for you. So now he's pissed off. He's like, you don't know what you did. You don't know what box you opened. And he goes storming off. So therefore, he does not tell him about D-Mac again. Okay. Then we have the freaking cop Bennigan that I don't give two shits about, with that other cop that I could give two shits about, coming up to him saying now he wants another $50,000 by Friday. I'm like, Bennigan, you are stupid. First of all, you should have never opened your mouth. You should have never said the amount that you were getting. You set your own self up for that. And it's not going to stop. He going to keep wanting more and more and more. You're going to have to kill him. That's the bottom line. And so he was like, there's no way I could do that. I'm not going to be able to get you the money by then. I need more time. The cop could care less. He's like, maybe I could get you another 20 by then. And he was like, look, if you don't pay me the full thing by Friday, I'm taking this into the entire department. They're going to find out. He was like, figure it out. That's not my problem. He was like, things can always change, just like your sister changed from being healthy to being a vegetable, and she could end up going from a vegetable to being dead, essentially. So I'm like, yeah, you're going to have to kill this dude. There's no other way around it. We see these guys coming in from Dublin with all of their suitcases that I'm assuming is filled up with guns. We have Paulie meeting them and telling them, welcome to Chicago, and he's basically bringing them to Flynn. All right. We then have, Liliana come back to the stash house, and she was basically saying to Tommy, like, we're going to keep playing this game because she see that, the stash is moved, and he's telling her where to get it underneath the cabinet. And so, she's asking if he heard from Claudia. He's like, no. He's like, she's ghosting me. And she was like, that's some bullshit. She was like, yeah, well, maybe could be possibly taking care of her brother because of what happened. And he was like, nah, something is up. Normally we could find out real quick and we could beat the hell out of her or whatever. and you know, saying that there might be a problem with that, and you know, basically she's like, not if you could hide bruises. And so basically she was like, I'm hearing that the mob is coming in Chicago again. Liliana got the ear to the street, she letting it be known. And he was like, well, I thought Flynn and them was the Irish mob. She was like, no, the real Irish mob. And he was like, wow, Walter really must believe that, you know, the Serbs put out that hit on Vic. And so, you know, basically she's saying she gonna be watching and paying attention. Now, Jannard and them all of a sudden know that it's Tommy that has the Dahlia. And they also feel like he's been working with the Serbs. And they, of course, blaming him for Elijah. So now they going in about that. They gonna get him. You know, Black is basically agreeing with him. He's like, yeah, now it's all making sense. You know, you got Diamond coming in to set up the barbershop and open up or whatever, not knowing that they down there. And he's here, well, Jannard is going on and on about how he can't believe how, you know, Diamond was messing with Tommy and all of that stuff. Same stuff he always be saying. But then he starts talking about how he's going to take Diamond out. You know, he been have this in plan from the beginning, ever since he threw the fight and all that stuff. He's going to get the Dahlia for himself. It's all going down. He's going to take Tommy out. And he was like, you know, fuck his brother and all of that kind of stuff. He was like, you know, this, I don't give a fuck about him. And Diamond is hearing all of this part. He's like, you know, when I first called you from New Orleans, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I already knew then what I was gonna do, and that I was gonna overthrow this whole thing, and I was gonna take back CBI and all of that other kind of stuff. And so, like I said, Diamond is hearing this the whole time. I don't know why he ain't just go down there and beat his damn ass. But he's basically just listening. He was like, I've been playing the long game, you know, when I did the job, giving him his confidence and shit back, making him think he was in charge with CBI too. And so Diamond heard all of that for himself, and he was like, fuck, you know, Jannard is basically saying, fuck Tommy and fuck Diamond. He's dead to me too. Like, whoa, he's dead to you, bro? Okay. Honey, he held it together better than me, you know, and Blackson is telling him, I got you, but I'm not too sure if he really do. We shall see. You know, and Diamond goes walking off. So now when they come upstairs, you know, Jannard talking about some, oh, bro, I didn't hear you, because Diamond basically just plays it off and was like, oh, I didn't hear you either. I didn't know you was down here, and was acting like he was setting up to go ahead and, you know, come do cutting hair, even though we never see him cutting nobody damn hair, all right? And so they saying, you know, he said he stopped by the pipeline and it was a little slow, but things will pick up later. You know, it'll take time and it'll get back to normal. And Jannard talking about some, oh, you know, he dropping knowledge. Yeah, I feel you, man. It'll take time and it'll get back to normal. And him and, you know, Blackston both standing there looking shook and phony as hell. And then he got the nerve to be like, love you, bro, and come and give him a hug right after he finished talking that trash. And I just was like I said, Diamond, you better than me, because I wouldn't have been hugging nothing. It would have been my foot in his damn behind. But they go walking out to leave, and Diamond, you know, basically the fake smile he had on his face disappears. You know, finally, Tommy meets up with Claudia, and he's like, you know, you've been ignoring my calls. And she talking about, I've been busy. And he was like, yeah, I hear the old countrymen are in town. Anything I need to know about? And she was like, you know, Vic is taking this pretty hard. You know, she was like, he's banged up, but he's okay. He really got out lucky. And so, of course, she was like, but you already probably knew that. And then he was like, why would I know that? And she was like, maybe because you set him up. He's like, why the hell would I set him up? She was like, I tried to protect Vic. And so she was like, and who? I tried to save him. He was like, and who the hell is the one that told you, you know what I'm saying, that it was me? Maybe you need to look at the source. And she talking about, be honest, Tommy, you never respected him. You thought he was a spoiled prince. And he was like, me and Vic may not have seen eye to eye, but if I wanted him dead, he would already be dead. I don't know how many times y'all gotta hear this shit. Like, for real. And, you know, basically, like, I never bullcrap you. He was like, and Gloria. And she was like, you know, basically letting him know that she wasn't so lucky. So, of course, Tommy is pissed off with that because, like I said, he did care about Gloria. He did not want anything to happen to her. And then, you know, like I said, he says, think about the source that told you that I was behind it. Use your damn brain, girl. But apparently everybody is like the damn scarecrow right now. They ain't got a brain, okay? They on their way to see the damn wizard. You got the cop coming and trying to rob damn Diamond, okay? Basically puts a gun to his head. He telling him, he need money. He's in this situation because of him. Diamond is like, all right, nice and easy, come on. He was like, we didn't start too different from each other. The guy's asking him where's the safe at. And of course he want to act like he uppity, Mr. Perfect. Oh no, we not the same and we didn't start from the same thing and this and that. Bull crap. Right now you're a dirty cop. So you don't have the right to be taking this damn moral ground that you keep trying to take. And anyway, he asked him how much he want. He was like 100,000. Diamond ends up actually giving him 150,000. I don't know how long this is supposed to work for him. My thing is, why you not going and telling Flynn and them about this instead of you robbing damn Diamond? Whatever. That's the way they wrote it, right? And so he gives him the 150,000 or whatever the case may be. You have what is their names? You have Diamond and Adrian sitting in this booth at the diner, and she's asking him what's wrong. She could tell it's something that's bothering him. He talking about, oh no, nothing. It's all good. He just thought he knew somebody, but he really didn't. She's saying that her being a reporter, she's learned a lot of times what you think you know about somebody is not what it is. And he was like, oh, is that the first thing that you learned about? And she gonna talk about some, what did she say? I don't even know because it wasn't nothing that important. I think she was like, she's basically breaking the first rule of journalism by messing with him. And she said, oh yeah, spell check was the first lesson that she learns. And then they basically start laughing about that. So he sees Tommy waving to him in the background and he's like, be back in a second. And of course, Tommy is telling him that, he got these people coming after him from Flynn, and that, they bringing heat for Dublin, and that he needs soldiers and he needs guns, a lot of them. And of course, we got Diamond saying again, like, I'm not going to do that. I already did that. I'm not going to take another huge swing. We almost didn't make it out of our last battle. I'm not going to prison, back to prison for anybody. Sorry. And I wish you luck. Wasn't nothing shocking about that. I don't know what the hell Diamond wanting right now. He got his own damn problems that he needs to look in his own backyard about anyway. We have Tommy go and see Markovich, and he's basically saying, I know who's coming for you, but it's going to cost you. I need men, and I also could tell you who came after you. Markovich says he won 1.5, and Tommy's like, done. And he was like, okay, cool. So he lets him know that it's the Flynns that's coming after them. But he also wants to know who hit Glow. Okay, he was like, she didn't deserve to die. And so he tells him, I'll give you another half if you tell me that. So he lets him know that is the twin, the one that Tommy had killed. So as he's walking out the door, Tommy is basically like, yeah, when I killed your brother, I ain't see his face when I shot him in the head. And the guy's basically like, fuck you. And Tommy's like, boom, okay. Blew that head clean off, was like, I'll be back with your money. Went and was getting all the money out of this little stash spot that he got where the pole is at in the apartment. Comes back, throw the money up there like nothing. You got Claudia with her nosy behind, looking and seeing them two together. And then she's looking all upset. You got D-Mac and Marshall running to Cousin Buddy and talking about, yo, we could get you this product. He only got you one little sample. We got a whole brick right here. We could start our own thing with you. You don't need Jannard and them. Forget about them. We got Dahlia. It's better than that other stuff that they talking about and all this other things. At first, Cousin It is pulling out damn guns and telling them to shoot them and stuff like that. But then he starts listening and he's saying, he's already with Jannard. And he was like, yeah, but like I said, Jannard only gave you that little sample. Fuck them CBI guys. He was like, they ain't got nothing like that and they can't bring you more. And he was like, because the people that got that and don't even mess with him or whatever. So basically they blowing the whole spot up. And like I said, they asking where Jannard at. They like, who cares? He ain't coming with it like we coming with it and all of this. And so he says that he'll give them a chance. They better come back with more, and they better let him sit down with you know, the connect. And he's like, if I can't trust you, y'all dead. And of course, Jannard finds out that they did this. I just don't understand D-Mac, for him to be so smart. You was so stupid in this part as well. You know, like I said, with Claudia seeing Tommy, she of course runs to Walter to tell him that he was right. You know, and she was like, how do you know? She was like, because I just seen them together, and you know, now they want to talk about, I never should have doubted you, you know, we gonna be in this together, we're a family, you were right, and blah blah blah. And it's like, y'all so stupid, I swear. And so then, you know, you got Jannard saying that he's going to get D-Mac, and he's also going to get Tommy. He's like, he should have known that Tommy was behind this, and that Tommy has something to do with Dahlia, and now he basically wants to, you know, get him too. So you have Tommy come into D-Mac, and he's like, oh, you know, I basically set up this deal with the cousin from Gary. I'm about to have, you know, I'm about to bring y'all business to Gary. We gonna be on and all this stuff. And Tommy is like, who told you to do that? Nobody told you to do that. He was like, now you out here making stupid moves. I tried to just put you here so that you could make you know what I'm saying, a little bread. I didn't tell you to go running doing nothing. He was like, did you mention anything about my name? Did they follow you here? Did they see where you was going? He was like, I don't think so. He was like, I was trying to help you out. He was like, yeah, but nobody told you to do that. And so he's like, listen, I was trying to do something good for you. I was trying to keep you safe, and you're going to get us killed. You're going to get all of us killed. He was like, you still got a big future, and you coming out here doing dumb shit. So that's when he was like, I know about the bad deals. I know about you shooting up the clubs for attention. And he was like, what are you talking about? What did you say? What do you mean by shoot up the club? He was like, yeah, JP, your father, okay? And I'm your uncle. And so, of course, at first he didn't want to believe Tommy. He actually pulled out a gun on him, and Tommy was telling him, you're not going to shoot me. Then, like I said, he goes running off. He was telling him that he's not no killer. So, of course, Tommy already know where he going. He follow him there. He's sitting out there with the little box with the gun and, you know, money and all of that in it in the picture. And Tommy is essentially telling him, like, listen, I had just, you know, found it out. And JP is telling him, like, I followed you there. I saw y'all two together, but I didn't know that you was my uncle. And he was like, you know, he had been waiting for a good time to tell him, but now he tells D-Mac that he needs to go ahead and tell him himself. And he was like, what? You the grown up? He was like, you should be telling him. He was like, all right, bet. I'll tell you what we'll do. We will go and tell him together. You know, both of us is going to tell him. So they agreed to that, you know. And as he's walking away with him, he's like, you know, but I'm not going to be calling you Uncle Tom. And he was like, that's okay. He was like, maybe I'll call you Tom. And Tommy's like, nah, that ain't going to happen. Next thing you know, of course, here come, I'm assuming it was Jannard and them, shooting at their asses. You know, Tommy pushes him out the way, and he's shooting back. And the next thing you know, D-Mac is like, Tommy, and he's basically got a big ass hole in the side of his stomach. So then Tommy literally lifts him up, carrying him in his arms, taking him to the hospital. It was all dramatic, but I had a feeling either D-Mac or JP was going to get shot. I just hope he don't die. I was like, if anybody's going to die out the two, I would kind of prefer that it be JP. I mean, I wouldn't want it to be nobody, but, you know. Nonetheless, he get him to the hospital. So JP comes, and he's like first looking and scared because he see blood on Tommy. And Tommy is telling him, like, no, it's not my blood. And he was like, well, what's going on? What did you call me? He was like, you know, the boy with the dress that basically was coming and shooting up your club. And he's like, yeah, what about him? And he was like, that's your son. And basically takes out the picture of them together. I was like, oh. So he was like, well, how long have you known this? And Tommy was telling him, like, for a little bit. But he really didn't know that long. And JP was like, well, you should have told me as soon as you know. And when you knew, that was the right time to tell me. Because Tommy was saying how he didn't know the right time. And so Tommy was still trying to say something else to him and talk to him. And he was like, not now, Tommy. I gotta go save my son. I don't mean to laugh. That should have been the part that made me cry. But it was the way he said it. I was like, okay. So, I don't know what's going to happen with that, y'all. You know, because Tommy told him he knew for a minute. And he was like, you should have told me the second you knew. So, now all of a sudden, he mad at Tommy for finding him. When Tommy been in town for 2 seconds and was able to put it together. And you wasn't JP, okay? But nonetheless, y'all, you know, we have the Dublin guys coming in to this meeting with Flynn and them. Vic is thanking them for coming. You know, they say hi to Claudia and they talking about, oh, since when a woman gets to be in meetings, and she was like, well, I guess now. And Flynn gonna talk about some, well, you know, y'all gonna need my daughter's intelligence in order for y'all to get around Chicago. And basically they like, we at war. And that's how the episode ended, y'all. What y'all think about this? You know, did y'all think that they was as stupid as I did? Put it all in the comments. And I guess my biggest question that I have is Diamond about to take Jannard out now or not? That's all I want to know. But put it in the comments. Let's discuss. All right. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Till next time. Toodaloo.